Hi guys, this is Fancy Stitches and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be taking you guys simple steps on how to cut and sew this beautiful princess dart bustier peplum top that you are seeing right here. It's a peplum top bustier with two-step flay on it. The first one is 720-degree flay and the second one is 360-degree flay. I made the first and the second peplum with two different Ankara prints. So guys, keep on watching and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more of my videos. As you can see, I've folded my fabric into two using my biggest body part, which is the hip, as to cut out the front bustier. Okay, then on the screen here is the short note where I listed my measurement, but I'm going to drop that on the description box so that you guys can check it out on my description box. Then moving ahead, from shoulder to her half length or her waistline is 16 inches, but I added half an inch to it, making it 16.5 inches. I went ahead to mark my point and use freehand to connect my marked point. Okay, so the area of my marked line is the part that we'll be working on. Okay, her shoulder measurement is 17 inches divided by 2 will give me 8.5 inches. Then I mark my point. Then coming over to the armhole length, I went down by 9 inches for my armhole length. Okay, I marked my point, then drew a vertical line across my marked point. Okay, and that will serve as the chest line. And for the dart, her nipple to nipple measurement is 8 inches divided by 2 will give me 4 inches. So because I'm cutting directly on my fabric, I'll be adding extra half an inch to my 4 inches, making it 4.5 inches. Then after that, I'll mark my point and draw a straight line across it. Okay, from shoulder to her bust is 10 inches, under bust is 13.5 inches, and to the waistline, which is the half length, is 16.5 inches. Also mind you that I said that this is the chest line. Okay, this line here. So I'm going to draw a straight line across the bust line and the under bust line. Having done that, I'm also going to extend my dart leg, which is the 1 inch I took from here. I'm also going to take that at the under bust, my 1 inch from the under bust. Okay, then also the 1.5 inch, I'm also going to take it from the under bust line. Okay, so this is it. Then from the bust point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Okay, from the bust point, I went down by 1 inch, which you see me doing it. This is the point. Then I'm going to connect my 1 inch dart leg to the point here. Okay, so I'm also going to do the same for the other dart leg. Okay, for the front neckline width, I'll be using 4 inches, and for the length, I'll be using 6 inches. Then after that, I'll go ahead and use freehand to connect my point. Okay, to mark my curve. All right. Then here, I'm going to subtract 1 inch for the shoulder slope, which is here. Then draw my shoulder slope line. Okay, this is for my shoulder slope line. Then what is remaining for us here is 8 inches. Okay, then for my 8 inches, I'm going to divide what I have here by 2. Okay, so which is 4 inches. That is the midpoint. Okay, then so guys, having gotten my armhole midpoint, the next thing that I'm going to do here, from this midpoint, I'm going to connect it to meet the nipple to nipple line, which is from here. Okay, I'm going to connect it this way. Okay, hope you guys are seeing what I'm doing for freehand users. Okay, and also you can use your curve ruler to do this. Then after that, I'm going to take her bust circumference, which is 40 divided by 4 is going to give me 10 inches. So here I'm also going to add extra 4 inches to it. So I'm going to connect it, connect her armhole. Okay, then that's not all. The next thing is coming to the armhole. I'm going to go up by 1 inch and also come down by 1 inch. Okay, that's a total of 2 inches. So from your bust line, the same way you went down by 1 inch to connect your darts, just go up by 1 inch and connect your dart legs to it. Sorry, I didn't do it here. Okay, having done that, my main armhole is the third one, the third dart leg. Okay, and I'm also going to extend that by 2.5 inches. What I have here is 2 inches, but I decided to make it 2.5 inches, which is here. Okay, so I'm going to extend my that leg, then connect the armhole. Okay, so you can see what I have here. Okay, so this is my main dart leg, this one that I extended by 2.5 inches. Okay, and that is all for the front. Then the next thing is to take the basic body measurement, which I have already done. That the bust divided by 4 is going to give me 10. Then I'll mark my 10 inches, then add extra. I took 2 inches from here, so I'm also going to add up the 2 inches plus my sewing allowance of 2 inches, making it a total of 4 inches. Okay, which I have already done, and I have already connected my armhole to it. Then for the underbust, what I have for my underbust is 37. Okay, and my 37 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 9.2 inches. So here is my 9.2 inches. Remember, I took 2.5 inches allowance. Okay, so I'm going to add the 2.5 inches plus my sewing inches allowance. I'll add my 2.5 inches allowance, then add sewing allowance of 2 inches, making it 4.5 inches. Then coming to the waist is 39 inches, and my 39 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 9.8 inches. So I'll take my 9.8 inches, add extra 4.5 inches to it, 2.5 for my dart legs and 2 inches for my sewing allowance or hemming allowance. Okay, so I'm going to connect my points. So this is what I have here. Okay, so the next thing is to cut what I have out. So coming to the back, I've already arranged my fabric and I mapped out 1.5 inches for my zipper allowance. Then this line here is the length where the half length stopped. Okay, so this is the space that I'll be using. Okay, then the next step is to take my shoulder measurement, which my shoulder measurement of 9 inches. Okay, then armhole length of 9 inches. Okay, then for the neckline width, I'll be using 4.5 inches. Okay, for the back neckline width, it's 4.5 inches. For the length, neckline length is going to be 2.5 inches. So I'll be connecting it this way. Then for my shoulder slope, I'll be going down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. Okay, okay, then the next thing is to take the from shoulder to her bust is 10 inches, to under bust is 13.5 inches, then to the half length is 16.5 inches. That's the reason why I have this line here. So her bust circumference divided by 4 is going to give me 10. Bust circumference is 10. Then I'll be using 2 inches for her hemming allowance, okay, which is here. Okay, then for the under bust, which is 37 inches divided by 4, is going to give me 9.2 inches. So 9.2 inches, take my 9 point, then add extra 2 inches of hemming allowance. Okay, then coming to the waist, 9.8 inches. The waist circumference is 39 divided by 4 is going to give me 9.8 inches. So I'll take my 9.8 inches, mark it, then add extra 2 inches for my hemming allowance. Connect it. Okay, then for my coming to my armhole, I'm also going to take the center, the midpoint of my armhole, which is 4. Then from there I'm going to connect it. Okay, then for the darts, for the back dart, I'll be using 4.5 inches, which is this point here, her nipple to nipple measurement. Then I'm going to go up by 14 inches. Okay, I'll also take 4.5 inches from here. Then I'm going to go up by 14 inches, which is here. So this is where that leg is going to stop. Okay, then coming to the sides, I'm going to take half inch from both sides. Okay, half inch from here, then half inch from this side as well, and I'm going to connect it. Okay, so this is all for the back darts. Then the next thing is to cut it out. So guys, I just splitted my wording into two for a better understanding. Okay, this is uh, the side that has gum on it, so I'm going to place it just this, like this. Okay, hope you guys are seeing what I'm doing, making sure that the wording is touching the under bust here. You can see that, like this. Okay, so I'm going to flip that over like this and trim out this part. Okay, so let me just go ahead and do that. This is actually what works for me. I don't know how you cut yours, but this is an easy way to cut your wording. Okay, so this is what I have for my front wording, but I'm not going to leave it like this. I need to trim out this area. Okay, so from here I'm going to trim it out like this. The same for this area. So this is how my wording is going to look like after I'm done cutting it. Okay, so I'll use this pattern to draft out for the other wording. Okay, so guys, this is what I have for the both side of my bust there. Okay, after I'm done with cutting of my wording. Okay, this is the breast part, that is what we call it here. Okay, so the next thing is to cut the center wording of my fabric. Don't mind how the fabric is, because the customer really didn't pay me, so I'm going to do it this way. That's why I use this for this tutorial. All right, so guys, the next thing is to cut the center of my princess dart wording. Okay, so you can see I've arranged the center part, and here is how I'm going to place my wording. This is the under bust line, so I'm going to place my wording, the part that has stay on it, gum stay on it, so I'm going to place it like this. Okay, making sure that the wadding is on top of the under bust line. So I'm going to place it like this, then make sure it rhymes up with this part here. Then after that, I'm going to cut it out. So to cut it out correctly, you have to flip it over just this way. Okay, this is it. The next thing is to actually cut it out. This is a basic way to cut a wadding, a princess that bustier wadding. So guys, I went ahead to join my bustiers together. This is what I have after joining. You can see how my bustier is standing, though without a gum stir on it, without gum stir, only my wadding. You can see a wonderful results of my wadding. Okay, so the next thing here is to cut the flay. This is for the first flay. What I'm going to do, I've already folded my fabric. This is a satin fabric, so I'm going to fold it again. After folding it, then I'm going to fold it in a triangular form like this. Okay, so to know whether we have the actual length that we needed, what I'm going to do here is to subtract the 16 inches for the half length. Okay, the half length is 16 inches, so I'm going to subtract it. Then the required peplum length is 23 inches, and mind you that for the first one we are using 21 inches. Okay, for the first step. So this one is the second one, so we'll be needing 9 inches, and the hip measurement divided by 6.28, the hip of 45 inches divided by 6.28 will give me 7.1 inches. So I'm going to be using 7 inches for this. Okay, so I'll go ahead and mark my 7 inches. So this is my 7 inches. Then I'll measure out the 10 inches, the 9 inches that I'll be using. Okay, so this is the 9 inches. So this is the required space that we'll be needing. The next thing is to cut this out. So this is how to cut a 360-degree flip. Okay, you can see that, a 360-degree flip. So guys, for the second flay, okay, as you can see, I've already mapped out the circumference. Okay, so but before then I folded my fabric into 8 pieces. Okay, this is the first one, folding into 4, then another 4 again, this is 4, and this is 4 again. So we are cutting 720-degree flay on this. Okay, so I've already mapped out. The next thing is to take the required length, and I'm going to be using this remaining length here, which is 6 inches. Okay, the normal length is 10 inches, so I subtracted. For the circumference I used 4.5 inches, because 45 inches divided by 8 is going to give me 4 point something. So, and I added half inch to it. Okay, so I'll be using the remaining 6 inches here. So let me mark. So as you can see, I didn't cut exactly on my marked point. Okay, on my marked line I give half inch away. Okay, so this is it. Then I'm going to open up, is 2 inside, so I'm going to open up one part of it. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like. Okay, this is how it's going to look like. That's what I want. So this is 720 and this is 360. So guys, I went ahead to fix both my zipper and my lining together with the flare. Okay, and this is my end result. Okay, and right there is also the sleeve. It's going to have an off shoulder sleeve. Okay, we don't have light, that's why I didn't iron it. Okay, and I don't have a manual iron. Okay, charcoal iron, I don't have it. So guys, if you love what you're seeing, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like, comment, and share with your friends. Okay, if there is any question, drop that on the comment section. I'll be right there to entertain to you guys. All right.